Okay, morning. Today we're going to be talking about value. Value is an element of art. Value is an element of art. And it talks about the darkness and lightness of a color. Okay? In value, if you want to raise the value of a color or lighten a color, you add white. So white raises the value or lightens the color. And when you add white, you are tinting the color. T-I-N-T. You are tinting the color. That's when you want to lighten a color, you add white. If you want to darken a color, you shade the color by adding black. You shade the color by adding black. Okay? So if you want to lighten a color, you add white. And if you want to darken a color, you add black. For white, it's called a tint, and for black, it's shade. So tinting and shading. These two things change the value of a color. And value is an element of art. Value, V-A-L-U-E, is an element of art that has to do with the lightness and darkness of a color. So first, we're going to lighten a color by adding white. The color we're going to lighten is blue. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to put some blue on this paper here. And we're going to just paint the blue without adding any white. I'm going to put some blue here. I'm not going to add any white at all. Now I'm going to open the white. Pick it up. Oops, my dear. Got white all over everything. Okay, but this time I'm going to add just a touch of white to the blue. Not that much white, just a little bit of white, and add it to the blue. So the blue becomes lighter. St. George's colors. So you got a dark blue and a light blue. All right? Dark blue and a light blue. I think I could have been a little bit darker with that blue. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. A little bit darker. Because we want to do it gradually. We don't want to change the value too quickly. Okay, because with each circle, I want the color to get lighter and lighter. So, okay. So these blues are very close in color. Not that much contrast. Okay, you can have a look at that right there. Now the next shade of blue that I add in the third line should be a little lighter than the second one that I put in there. We're going to make that a little lighter. So you just add a little bit more white. So this could be a little bit lighter than the second one. Okay, a little bit lighter. And you sort of just have to feel your way along as you go. Like a little bit of blue, and you see what happens. If it's not the right color, you go back and you add more, take some away. Okay. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit here, just a touch. Okay, okay, so we got this blue. It's a little bit lighter than the second layer of blue. And now I want the next one to get even lighter. So we put a little bit more white in there. Yes, it's a little bit more lighter than the, so it gradually starts becoming lighter and lighter. Okay. I'm using water at this point. Make sure this one is lighter. Maybe you don't want to get too light too fast. No, this here needs to be lighter right here. That's right, lighter. You don't want to get too light too fast. You can use any color to do this, but use only one color. Actually, there's a name for this. It's called monochromatic color. Monochromatic, because we are only using one color and we're using a tint on this color. So notice it starts off just the blue by itself, then we add a little bit white, a little bit more white, a little bit more white. And then for the next line, we're going to add even more white. Okay, even more white to that. A little bit of blue because we don't want it completely white. Now that's a little bit too much blue, so we just continue to add some more white. Because remember, it has to get lighter and lighter, not darker and darker. It's getting lighter and lighter. Okay, a little bit of water, a little bit more blue here. So actually I drew the circles on first. I'm going to draw some more circles onto it. More white. The water is, I need the water to actually spread my paint, but I don't want to make the mistake of using too much water. I'm going to get it as evenly as you possibly can. I'm needing a little bit more white here. Okay, a little bit more white. Some blue. Still not completely white yet. That's what we're aiming for, the last one to be completely white. Okay, we're going to do this, a little bit more blue here. I could have used a thicker brush. You don't want the brush too skinny because this will become very frustrating because it would take too much time. Okay, so we're going along here. And the color is becoming lighter and lighter, just like a Bermuda blue sky, very light when it's sunny, of course. Okay, so it got lighter and lighter and lighter. So the next, I'm going to draw another line around this. Okay. And this one should be even whiter. I'll move this paper over here. So hopefully you can see that. Hold it up. Just keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Okay. And so I am actually changing the value. I'm changing the value of the blue by adding white or tinting the color. I'm tinting the blue, and it just keeps getting whiter and whiter. The slower you go, the better. Just do it very gradually. You keep adding a little bit more white. try to get it. Now see, it's a little bit too white right there, so I add a little bit more blue here. So it should get whiter and whiter, but very, very slowly. You don't want to have a big jump in color. You want it to gradually get lighter and lighter. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're making this get lighter and lighter. You know, that's a little too dark because it has to, remember, it has to be lighter than this one here. So, take our time. Good, that's about right. That's about right. So you have to keep looking at it and keep judging it and decide if it needs more white or if it doesn't need more white. What exactly do you need? Now this is too white over this side, so I need a little touch more blue over here. And make sure your color's nice and even. A little bit more white, some water here. Then we're going to make another circle. But the more gradual you make the change, the better. This one here should be mostly white, more white than blue. I'm going to need some more white for this. Okay, this here is mostly white. Mostly white, yes. So we started off with the deep blue and ended up with almost, this one is almost purely white actually. Okay. This one, the blue in this one is so small that it just looks white. Okay. And then the final one would be just completely white. And this is changing the value of a color. Okay. So experiment with tinting the color. Okay. And then the next one, I'm just going to make it white. Let's color the outsides of it white. Be sure to cover the surface of the table that you're working on so that you don't make a mess, like what I'm doing here, making a mess. Okay. All right, here you go. And this is how you tint a color, by using white. Okay. Now, so this is what it looks like. It started out totally blue and it just continued to get lighter and lighter as I went along. Okay. So you can do this exercise, do it with blue, and then do it with red, and then do it with yellow, and then mix some secondary colors, and do it with orange, and do it with green, and do it with purple. You don't always have to make circles. You can make diagonal lines. You can make vertical lines, and as you go up, the color can get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. You can do zigzag lines. Just be creative, and once again, like I always say, please use your imagination and just try to change the value as gradually and as slowly as you can. Now, the next video, I would show you how to shade a color. Today, we tinted the color, and by tinting the color, we changed the value of the color. And value is an element of art. Good luck.